A few decades ago, this sound echoed through the roads of India. But by the late 90s, this sound was fading. Royal Enfield, the company that built bikes for soldiers in war, was almost buried by time. Everyone said, sell it, shut it, it's over. But one man changed the entire fate of Royal Enfield. Royal Enfield started in 1893 not as a motorcycle company but as a gun manufacturer in Redditch, England. The tagline, made like a gun, goes like a bullet, wasn't just marketing strategy. It was engineering pride. The steel, the machining, the precision, every bolt felt like it came from a weapon. And as a mechanical engineer, I find this part fascinating. The tolerance levels in Enfield's old cast iron engines were designed almost like firearm chambers, tight, reliable, and resilient. That's why even 70-year-old bullets still start with one strong kick. But as time changes, Royal Enfield also moved to the new aluminum alloy engines, especially with unit construction engine and later the J series. They didn't abandon that legacy, they just re-engineered it. Why aluminum alloy? Aluminum allows better heat dissipation, lighter weight, and higher precision machining. Yet, they tuned it so that the thumb, that heartbeat, remained unchanged. It's a mechanical evolution without losing emotional identity. While Enfield was helping win wars, the world of motorcycles was changing too. Harley Davidson was roaring in America, Norton was speeding in Britain, and Germany was quietly building their iconic BMW Boxers. Yet, no one carried a gunmaker's soul into their bikes except Enfield.
Es soll und dies ist unser.
When World War II broke out in 1939, after Hitler's army invaded Poland, the British department needed something fast, a machine that could move soldiers through the toughest terrains. That's when Royal Enfield stepped in. They didn't just make motorcycles, they built warriors on wheels. Their iconic model, the Flying Flea, was specially designed for these paratroopers. It weighed just 125 pounds, light enough to be dropped from planes by parachutes. Just imagine soldiers landing behind enemy lines, unfolding their Royal Enfields, and riding straight into battle. That's not just engineering, that's courage built into metal. And maybe that's where its soul was born, in the mud, in the noise, and the courage of men who rode it to survive. After the war, India wanted strong, dependable motorcycles for its army and police. The government found its answer in the Royal Enfield Bullet 350. It was imported from the UK, then built in Madras, today's Chennai. The decision changed the history. The Bullet's long stroke engine, 84 mm stroke, and 70 mm bore was made for Indian roads. More torque, less stress. It could climb hills, carry loads, and survive heat, something most European bikes couldn't do. But by the 1990s, the charm faded. Japanese bikes such as Hero Honda and Yamaha were faster, cheaper, and lighter. But Enfield felt heavy and outdated. In 1999, sales hit rock bottom. The company was losing crores every year. Mechanics joked, bullet leak oils, but not emotions. People thought this was the end. Two-wheelers in India weren't just about power anymore. They were about mileage. In an economy opening up, speed, price, and fuel mattered more than thump. Royal Enfield was a vintage soul in a new race. It was almost poetic. The bike that once helped soldiers in win wars was losing its own. Then came Siddhartha Lal, a mechanical engineer. In 2000, he took charge of Royal Enfield under Eicher Motors, and everyone thought he was crazy because Enfield was only a part of Eicher's business, less than 10% of its revenue. But Lal saw something everyone else missed: emotion. He didn't want to build a motorcycle, he wanted to build a legacy. He stopped all other projects and focused just on Royal Enfield. He redesigned the engine, the legendary UCU, Unit Construction Engine. It removed all leaks and improved the reliability and kept that iconic thump. In engineering terms, it was simplicity meeting soul.
At 2004, I was been running Royal Enfield for 4 years. We'd come out from, deep losses and into a very interesting position.
Very, very long way.
But what made Royal Enfield unbeatable? It was not just its mission, it was the community. Today, if you open their website, it's not just about bikes, it's about belonging. Rides like the Himalayan Odyssey, One Ride, and Astrolite connect lakhs of riders across countries. That's not a company, that's a culture. And culture, when done right, is a moat. Harley Riders in America have it. Vespa clubs in Europe have it. Royal Enfield didn't just study that. They made their own tribe right here in India, one ride at a time. And as a mechanical engineer, I respect that because missions changed the fate of an entire era, from the steam engine of the Industrial Revolution to the thump of the Royal Enfield. They have always pushed humanity forward. They vibrate, they age, they demand care. But in return, they give something no app ever can: a heartbeat. From a gun factory in England to a heartbeat of Indian roads. From World War II to modern highways, Royal Enfield never just built bikes, it built stories. And every time you hear that thump, remember that's not just sound, that's history forged in steel, still beating strong. If you felt this story, like, share, subscribe for more, because every mission has a soul and some never stops. See you in the next one.